Hey, good morning. I'm doing something kind of crazy this morning. I am going to record my entire process of putting together a one book, a one program, one word, 1 year, 1 weekend. And I'm going to do the whole thing and I'm going to record the entire thing. And this is a little different because I'm going to be doing it for my character here, Fearful Fiona. I've already done Comparison Carl, Overthinking Oliver, and Mañana Mateo. And then later here are the rest of the villains. And then we've got some heroes. And this is what I'm going to be doing for the next, I've been doing this for 20, I have good grammar, I do. I'm going to be doing this for 27 weeks. And I'm currently on week 4. It is actually July 9th. So I'm going to start this and get it done. There's one reason I wanted to show you this video, because I want to show you every single thing I'm doing to get Fiona's book done. Now, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, this is the one word project, or in fact, okay, maybe you can help me on the name, but it really is all about one. It's about focus. It's about, like, I have way too many ideas and projects, and this program, this entire one program has gone from many, many things into one idea. And that is getting your one word for 1 year as like a mantra. This is my one word. I'll tell you what my one word is, and I'm going to put together that program later this week. My one word for 2025 is mathemagician. Not mathematician, not magician, but a combination of those two, mathemagician. If you want to hear more about that book and that program, that's my focus. That's my word for 2025. You want to hear more about that? I'm going to record that one too. But for now, I kind of want to show you a behind the scenes of what I'm doing, how I create these books using the different software. And remember, I go a little above and beyond. You don't need to do all the steps I'm doing, because I'm going to do an ebook. I'm going to do a paperback. I'm going to do, if we have time, I'm going to do an audiobook. And I'm not going to record it. I'm going to have 11 Labs record it, because I want it in Fiona's voice, right? Your book, I want you in your voice. So there's a bunch of there's the core elements. We're definitely going to do those today. And I want you to see how I do them. And when I teach this course, you'll see I use slightly different software, because I use quite a bit of paid software, and I show you ways to do all this through completely free software. If I haven't introduced myself, sorry, I'm just blabbing on here on a Wednesday morning. By the way, this is One Wednesday, like W-O-N, like we're going to win the Wednesday today by one book, One Wednesday. And I often have, I've got Thursday Thunder, I've got Fast Friday, I've got Meditation Monday. So I have these, not always every single week, with the exception of Thursday Thunder. I do videos or audio, right? So today is One Wednesday, and I am on week 4. And this week is Fearful Fiona. So just a tiny bit of background on this, because if you're looking at the spreadsheet, like, Bradley, what in the world are you doing? And this is another reason I'm doing this, is because people ask, like, what is going on behind the scenes? What are all these books? Who are all these characters? What's going on? And this really came about when I'm a book coach, nonfiction book coach. I can help you with your nonfiction book and nonfiction book marketing if you want. But this thing is really my focus. Here's what I want to happen. I want you to break through. I want to help you become the person who you want to become. And I know that's kind of cheesy and woo-woo and spiritual and rah-rah, right? Oh, become the best version of you. A buddy of mine and I, we always make fun of that phrase. Oh, become the best version of yourself. Like, yeah, but that's kind of what we're doing, except I don't like superlatives, right? Like the best version of yourself, because then I think, if next year's my best year ever, well then, is every year after that, by definition, not as good, right? I want next year to be better than this year. That's like all I want. I have very small goals. I want to achieve them, and I want to build up, right? I don't want to get to the mountain. I don't want to run the marathon this weekend. I want to run a kilometer this weekend. I don't need to lose 10 kilos in 10 days. I want to lose 10 kilos in 10 months, right? I'm a long-term kind of guy. I'm a long game player. I'm in it for the long haul. I'm about patience, perseverance, passion, and I want you to build up that happiness, because I think that is the key to longer term happiness, is not going nutso with the tiny, with the big crazy bumps, right? I am slow moving. Let's get this thing done. I've been writing for 8 years or something, right? I've published 39 books. I've sold over 100,000 books. I mean, just a few numbers if you're new to me here. Like I have 30,000 plus YouTube subscribers. I've been doing my YouTube channel for like 8 years. I finally, hello, focus. You want to know what my word was for 2024? Focus. There you have it. So focus was my word. And guess what? I did. I've cut out software. I've dropped subscriptions to software. And I'm down to a few, right? One of them, well, I don't want to talk about it, but it's called Fluent. Anyway, that's sort of different. But it's related because I'm focusing. And what am I focusing on? I'm focusing on this project, the 1 word, 1 year. We're going to do it in 1 weekend. Your mantra, your guiding light to get clarity, courage, and confidence in the coming year. But what's holding us back? The villains. So, for example, who's holding us back? Are you Mañana Mateo? Are you all about, mañana, right? We'll do it tomorrow, right? He's kind of just lazy, frankly. And if you admit you're lazy, like I admit I'm lazy sometimes, but other times, like in the mornings, I'm not lazy. Or are you overthinking Oliver, right? So overthinking Oliver, like you can see here in my spreadsheet. See, I'm already sidetracking. What's his book? Overthinking Oliver. How do I not have the book title? The spreadsheet's gotten out of control, but I gotta say, it's actually helping me. Here we go. So here are their book titles. Mañana Mateo, his book is called Someday. Now remember, these villains, this is gonna get a little psychological here, but these villains, they think they're doing it right. Like Mañana Mateo, he's proud to be lazy. He's like Spanish, you know? He's a Spanish. And he likes doing it his way. All these villains like doing it their way, and that's why they're like secret villains. They're like quiet little assassins, right? They're killers, but they're gonna get you like quietly, and they're gonna like soothe you in with I don't know, sweet talk and pretty pictures or whatever, right? Like overthinking Oliver. He's gonna kill us by 1,000 paper cuts, right? Or Comparison Carl compares himself to everybody else, but he's going to sort of make the case for like, no. Well, I need to know where the others are so that I know my place in the world, right? They all have their psychology behind all this stuff, right? And so you'll see like their book titles, they're relatively positive, right? Like Mañana Mateo, his book isn't called Lazy. His goal for the coming year is not called Lazy. His book is Someday. I'm going to write that book someday. And he sees that as a positive. So that's where these villains can be kind of ruthless killers, but frankly, they're quiet assassins. I like that. That's kind of brutal, but So like Fearful Fiona, she's all about safe. So her book is called Safe. So why don't we get back to Fearful Fiona? Because now hopefully you have a little bit of an idea of what I'm doing here. I'm going through these 9 villains, and in order to introduce them so that we can associate better with them, I thought, how can I do this, right? I can have a profile of them, or I can have like a bio or a 1-pager or something. But let's walk the talk. Let's have each of the villains create his or her own book, own 1-word book. So they're walking the talk, because you're going to create your own 1-word book. And this is then going to show you how these different villains are doing it. And then when we get into week 10 in a few weeks, then we get down to, see the red here, if you look at column R, survive, thrive, and give, right? Is it survive, thrive? Is it thrive? Or is it strive? I might have had strive and then thrive. I can't remember. So this is a fluid document here. I keep working on this thing, right? Because thrive, are you thriving? I guess you're thriving, but give is better. It just doesn't rhyme. I'm very much into alliteration. I'm into rhyming. I'm into the number 3 big time. As you'll see, everything I do is in the number 3. I have a chapter called Constraint Breeds Creativity in one of my books. Because I think if I'm only allowed to write, if I'm only allowed to have 9 villains, well, I'm probably going to group them into 3s. In fact, I have realms. I can even show you the realms. Hello, am I sidetracked enough yet? Hello, are you following me? I wanted to give you a little bit of a background. See, here are the realms: chaos, comfort, and control. So these guys are about chaos, these guys comfort, these guys control. Sounds good. Chaos sounds kind of chaotic, but comfort sounds good. Control, well, I won't control. But they're going to hold on to that control too much so that you don't really progress. Okay, so that's the the fear of these guys. Whereas these, the heroes, have clarity, courage, and confidence, right? Ooh, sounds good. And the guide, I'm not going to show you too much of the guide because I really like this. I think I got it from my friend Edwina. And she says from A to B to C. And C is like S-E-E. So, except you cannot see C until you get to B. So you might think you want to be a guide. Oh, I want to be a guide. That sounds great. I want to be a guide. I want to be balanced Bodhi or gentle grace. Like, no. That's like, I want to lose 10 kilos. No, first you need to walk around the block. And so first we need to get to B. First we need to get to the hero. First we need to oxygen mass to ourself and improve ourself and fix ourself. Then we can get to the guide. Because the guide is basically, you are then in a state, you are at a frequency or vibrating at a certain frequency where you have got it going on for yourself, and now it's time to help others. And in my humble opinion, this is the true meaning of happiness and purpose and meaning in life, is when you can then help others. That's what I think anyway. So, okay, I don't know how long I've been going on here. I don't know if I can even see a number, but I want to get to Fearful Fiona's book. And it is, I don't know if I'm going to keep my clock showing up there, but it is 8:18 in the morning on Wednesday. And so whether or not you are a fan of AI, that is up to you. It's a decision for you. Frankly, I am weary of it. I am a little concerned about what it all might do, right? On the other hand, I'm a techie kind of dude, and I can use the power of its analysis. If you think about it, I'm giving the content, and then it's analyzing. So just like numbers, right? Do we use a calculator? Well, look, I should be able to figure that out in my head. Well, yeah, you could, right? Or pen and paper or whatever, but it's just going to do it faster. And it's going to be able to take a bigger amount of data and analyze it and give me sort of summaries. That's what I'm really looking for, because here I've got a lot going on, right? I've got 9 villains, 9 heroes, and 9 guides. And I want them to be interconnected, right? Like here, for example, who is... Okay, there are the villains. Like, for example, here, Fiona, in the One Word Project, you need to have a foreword. And traditionally, a foreword, or formally, officially, by the law, a foreword is written by someone else. So who should write Fearful Fiona's foreword? And it should be somebody who believes in you, who's positive about you, and who's excited about your future, and who's going to write about that. So I want somebody who likes or appreciates or even admires Fiona. So that's not a hero, right? A hero looks at the villains and like, oh, you guys aren't there yet, right? You guys are stuck. So I want a fellow villain to write the foreword for Fiona. By the way, if it seems weird that I'm writing a one-word book for villains, I don't want to be a villain. Why would we do that? I want us to be able to recognize, to be aware of these villains, so that we know when we are being them. By the way, we are all villains, we are all heroes, and we are all guides. We have elements of each of them within us. And that is super important to not work. I don't want to kill the villains. By the way, we never could, right? But I don't want them to go away. They remind us sort of where we are and how far we've come. And if we're leaking a little bit into villaindom, the realm of chaos, then we want to steer back a little bit. So it's never a perfect game, and we're never completely clear of the villains. So I just want to see, but I want to be aware of where I am. And also what I really want you to know is who's your main villain? Who's really holding you back? Because we probably have 2 or 3, right? But who's the main one? Like for me, comparison Carl gets to me, because as much as there's a great quote, comparison is the thief of joy, and it absolutely is. It's weirdly, I have a little bit of perfectionist Pearl in me. I will keep going until it's perfect. I'm definitely a distraction Danny, right? So I've got a lot of them, but who's the main one, and who's really holding you back? And that's what I want to see, and that's another reason I want to create these villain books, because I want you to see who is holding you back. Okay, so I had started down a path of AI, and whatever your opinions are on it, okay, and whether you love me or hate me for it, but I definitely use it. And I use it because I have 4 bazillion ideas in my mind, and I need some help organizing them, okay? So here's my one project, And I'm going to get some help, and I'm going to say, ready for Fearful Fiona's. I'm not going to type everything. You're not going to have to wait for me to type everything. One word book. I've started a new chat. I have my little pictures in the way up there. I'll get rid of that. Okay, so let's see if my ChatGPT is called Charlie Holiday, by the way. Okay, so here, look at this. So we've got, so Foreword is not by Imposter Irene. I'm going to say here. So this is kind of crazy, but I have a major, watch this. This has how many columns? BN. I don't even know how many that is, right? So I'm going to say, here comes the Fiona. Oops. Let's see what we get from that. So remember, AI is something that can help. It helps me analyze. It helps me. I've got 40 million ideas. It helps me get them down there, right? So let's see if that helped. Got the one word safe. Hero guide. Got the hero and the guide. Where's the foreword? Book elements. Okay, so I was about to ask you, do you see the foreword? Okay, villain. Subtitle. See, if I don't try, I can't fail. So remember, foreword is very positive. Right? The villain is still very positive. Is it overthinking, Oliver? No, I can't even remember myself. Yes, it is. Look at that. Okay, so then I even have if you can read that. Oliver believes Fiona's hesitation is a sign of wisdom. So remember, Fiona's scared. Fiona's scared of failure, fear of failure. So hesitation is a sign of wisdom. He sees in her the power of restraint and relates to her need to fully understand things before acting. So I want your forward writer, remember your forward writer is not you. Your forward writer to be somebody who believes in you, who's going to be writing this, inspirational forward about your book. Hero is brave Bella. Okay, so let's see what we've got. Good. So I know if you're watching this and the first time getting to know me, getting to know this project, I can show you here. I'll show you the elements of the book. Basically, there is a book title. So for Fiona, it's safe. I want a book subtitle. If you think I haven't worked on this is what I've been working on for weeks now. Remember, I'm creating 27 books. You just have to create one. So book subtitle. So the book title is your one word, right? So for Fiona, it's safe. So for her subtitle, it needs to sort of describe the main title. And for her, it's if I don't try, I can't fail, right? Positive, right? I don't want to fail. I'm not going to fail. And we get an epigraph. This is one of my favorite parts. It's a quote from someone famous. Okay, now this could be, remember, I've got a lot of help from Charlie Holiday here. And here, this quote, like, is it real ancient proverb, really? Or maybe just me, seriously? So it could be that Charlie's making this stuff up, right? You got to be careful with AI that makes stuff up. So caution is the cousin of survival. I like that. I mean, it's also kind of perfect, right? Okay, we're missing a dedication. So the dedication, I'm going to get to every element, but let's just see dedication. Oh, we have it here. Okay, so the dedication and forward by overthinking. Oliver got that. Oh, it didn't have the forward, but now we have it over here. By the way, a side note, if you're watching this, I love you because I am going to walk through the entire process and I want to record. I want you to see how long does this take. And sure, I'm using Charlie Holiday here to get some of my content, but I've input all of the personality traits of these different characters so that it's done, so that it's ready, right? So here we go. So the forward, I want to put those in here. This is my spreadsheet. You can have a spreadsheet if you want, but I want. You know what? Let me go through just super briefly the different steps of the book, the different elements of the book. Because often when I talk about one-word book, people say, oh, is it one word? Well, I just write it on a napkin. So you could actually make jokes about napkins. Oh, I have to sneeze. I'm really afraid I'm going to sneeze in the microphone. It's my microphone, by the way. It's awesome microphone. I love this thing. Little shout out to my advertiser. It's the Holyland Lark M2 wireless lavalier microphone. Okay, let's just super briefly go over here. We got the book title. I really, really, really implore you to keep it to one word. Unless it's like a 2-word verb. I don't know, get up or whatever, right? One word. And then there's a subtitle. The subtitle should describe the title. It should be an addition, should complement the title. Then we've got the epigraph, which is a quote. Ideally not from you, but if it's from your ChatGPT, that's fine too. Or ideally from a famous person, and it's going to be inspirational or sort of prove your theory, prove your idea. Dedication. So dedication is to the one ahead of me. So it's kind of like, you dedicate something. So later we get into acknowledgements, and that's where we thank who got us there. Dedication. Kind of, I'm looking forward to the one ahead of me. Like if I look at Mañana Mateo, he said, for action, Alex. So I know, I don't understand you, but I admire you. Right? So I don't understand you, but I admire you. So here on the right, do we have the dedication? We do. To the version of me. Okay, so that's fine. To the version of me is okay. I prefer to have it sort of to a person. Like I often dedicate my books to my mom and dad because they were so inspirational for me. Who both passed away. Okay, so dedication, that is who this book is sort of to. Then again, we've got who wrote the foreword. And so here is the foreword. So I just pasted that in. Duh. Overthinking Oliver, and remember, I had some rationale why. So why is a certain person the writer of your foreword? That should be some reason. They love you. They believe in you. They are someone you admire, and maybe they'll be able to help you get to where you are, right? Or it's somebody related to the goal you're after, or maybe it's somebody related to the word you're using this year. So, but the biggie is that they believe in you. So here, Overthinking Oliver. And by the way, when we do this live, we do, I'm gonna give you sales pitches every now and again. So this project, you can do it yourself. Like right now, you can walk through this video and do this entire thing with me, and you're gonna get your book done if you want. That's fine. That's lovely. And in fact, one of the sort of bonus elements is that I would love to have you on my podcast and YouTube channel to talk about your word and your book and the process that got you there. And then, a little bit the content, like what's your word? What are you doing? What's the exciting word for you? By the way, if you're looking at the villains words and they're not very exciting, it's because they're not very exciting. The villains are villains. They're going to stay stuck. Okay, I'm just going to go through quickly the foreword, quickly as if this is quickly. The foreword is from Oliver. We see it over here. So remember, if there's anyone I trust, not to make a rash decision, right? Because down here in the heroes, we've got decisive Dana, right? So decisive Dana, she can make a decision and she's not going to be rash. She's amazing, right? But Fearful Fiona, she's not there yet. Okay, then the dedicated foreword preface. Okay, let's get to the preface. The preface is the current moment, the present state of affairs. This is where you are right now. And so for me, it is July 9th, 2025. And if I'm writing in the world of Fearful Fiona, I'm going to talk about now. I'm going to talk about this is where I am. I can talk a little bit about what I would like to achieve this year, but it hasn't happened yet. I can lay out some goals or some plans. That's great. It should be sort of inspirational to yourself, motivational to get towards where you're going. You might lay out a little plan if you have an idea of what you want to do. Like for me, Bradley, it's this project, right? But what is Fiona, Fearful Fiona? What does her year look like? Her word is safe. And so she wants to be safe. So she's going to plan a safe year. Okay, we'll come back to the detail later when we're going to put it into the book. Okay, and then an element of the book is called Chapter 1, W-O-N, and that's going to be the name of the book, and it's literally one word, right? Then this is, I think, the most powerful element of the book, and I don't want to scare you, but it kind of should be the most difficult, well, with a little caveat that it might be the easiest. And for some people, the feedback I've received is that this is kind of tough. Because what we're doing here, this is the epilogue. So, you know, in a movie sometimes, the movie ends and then it says like 1 year later. And it like fades in and it shows a year later in the life of the story, right? So here, it's the same thing. It's July 9th, 2025. I'm going to write this as if it's July 9th, 2026. You know, so Fiona is going to say, and I want you to start it with these 3 words. What a year. Exclamation point. What a year. And then I want you to write as if it's you're going to write in the present tense. This year has been so great because, So what did you achieve? Remember, it's future. You're looking back. And what did you achieve in this past year? So it can be called future history. It's sort of this fast forward thing. It's this psychological stuff that I've done quite a bit of work in and research on. And if we can get a little bit of detail, like we can add a couple elements. In improv comedy, we have a thing called extreme detail. And if I say, oh, I bought a house, that's fine. Like you could say, in the past year, I bought a house. Cool. But if you can add some extreme detail, the more detail we can give, sort of the more real it makes it. So if you say, I bought a white house with a blue roof on the island of Santorini in Greece. I mean, look what that just created. Well, it's got the chills. Look what that just created for us. It gave us a very clear sort of goal, a very physical, a very descriptive idea or goal or plan, roadmap, target, treasure map of the future. Right? White house, blue roof, Santorini, Greece. View of the ocean. I think every house in Santorini has a view of the ocean. Okay? You see the difference? So, and about this, okay, we can talk about the epilogue forever. I'm gonna move on, but it's super important and it can kind of be hard. And I don't want you to say, like my kids will say, oh, well, I won the lottery and I bought a Ferrari. Like, okay, that's fun. They say, oh, Dad, I bought a red Ferrari. I'm like, okay, that's great. But I want it to be attainable, then ideally a little more, right? I don't want it to say, oh, I lost a kilo. That's nice. That's not super hard. Well, it's totally doable. That's fine. That's great. But I want this to be more. I want this to be bigger than, there's the super easy, there's the like, yeah, I'll probably achieve this. And then there's, that would be really awesome. And I want you to push yourself a little more on what this year would bring. So like for me, I don't know, I actually do want to lose 5 kilos in 5 months. And so I'm going to do it. So think about that. If I put that, there's a thing, what gets measured gets improved. And so if I say I want to lose 5 kilos in 5 months, well then that's a kilo a month. That's something easy to measure. So it's nice, it's helpful, it's beneficial if it can be something you measure. And so the White House, blue roof, Santorini, Greece, that's pretty easy to measure. Do you live there or not? Or maybe did you get it? Did you at least visit? Right? So if you, go with me here, right? So are you living there? Do you really want to live in Greece? Do you speak Greek? Right? Like it's all Greek to me. So witty. So, or maybe you go on vacation there. Okay? So you see how this could work? I kind of like my Santorini house here because it's easy to see, did I succeed or not? And is the crazy goal that you sold your entire life and you went to live in Santorini, Greece? If that's your dream, then that's amazing. And then did you achieve it in a year? Well, are you living there? Did you buy the house? Great. But that's kind of in the realm of, I don't know, Ferrari and lottery, right? Of my kids. Whereas, what if you went on a holiday there for a week or a month? So how can you measure these goals? And we can work on these more during the year, but you can see how this description and clarity of the goal can help make it more real. And this is kind of a fun one, but hey, it could be real, right? I've got move-in plans in 2026, so, and they're not too far from Greece. A little hint, hint. All right, let's keep going here. Epilogue. Epilogue. The reason I stopped so much is that it is super, super important, and I think it's the real power of this entire program, and that's where I want you to spend probably the most time in writing that. Because I just, you could say, I buy a great year. I bought a White House with a blue roof on Santorini in Greece with a view of the ocean. If that's your goal, then that could be awesome. And like, what's your one word? I don't know. Freedom, travel, adventure, new. I don't know, right? Another thing I want to do is help you more with your one word. So a lot of people, like I talk to people and they're like, oh, I know my word. I'm like, okay, right? There's like, I know my word and I have no idea what my word is. There's sort of two camps. All right, let's continue really quickly. I'm going to have to walk Pepper soon. This acknowledgements. So here, I guess I do Fiona's already. Thank you to, yeah, this is kind of vague. I think, do I probably have a better one over here? Thank you is who, so this is also from the future. The future has happened, right? You're in the future and you want to thank the people who got you here, right? I would like to thank Bradley Charbonneau for the One Word Project, because without that, I would not be in Greece right now. That's what I really want to hear. So I want to hear that you succeeded and who helped you get there. Was it your family? Was it your friends? Was it your boss? Was it your whatever, right? Who was it? And again, because this hasn't happened yet on the day you're working on this, but it will have happened in the future, and looking back, think about it. This is another one to think about. Who helped you? Who would you now like to have helped you? Right? This would be really tough in another language, right? If you're good at language, but this kind of stuff, it's like, now looking into the future, who would have helped you? It's a really tough grammatical sentence. In the past, from the future. Got me? So for me, who would have helped me to get to where I am with my mathematician? Well, I need some people with structure and I need some people with magic. So those people are going to help me. If I want to name names, which I think is not a bad idea, I can name names. Okay? That is the acknowledgements. Okay, about the author. This is similar. About the author, I also want it from the future. I want you, what did I do here? I want you to, from this future self, I want you to write a bio. And so it's similar to the epilogue, except it's just about you. And so, here, Fearful Fiona is a master of risk assessment, worst case scenario planning, and graceful avoidance. So it's all positive. And Fiona has made progress. She's not only scared anymore, but she's very risk averse, and you know the deal. And so, remember, these villains aren't going to achieve the big dreams. The villains are happy staying in their stuck world and being proud of it. Ooh, that was kind of painful, but it's very true. Okay, so that's the about the author section. And remember, because it's the author of you in the future. This section I have to have in here because I love it and I think it's really fun. And I get some pushback on this, like, what is this all about? Also by the author all of these are traditional elements of a book, by the way. And this one also by the author. This is where you have the list of other books you've written in the author space, right? So here it could be, I want this to be other book ideas. Like, what do I have for Fiona here? I want this to be other. I do stand up. I do improv comedy, right? I like a good laugh. I'm also a huge believer in the idea that when we are laughing, when we are having a good time, when we're relaxed, when we're at that White House with the blue roof on Santorini with a view of the ocean, we're at peace. Our ideas are more clear. Our thoughts are more genuine. So here, I want you to play around with this. Also by the author, I want these to be books. So here are 3 books that Fiona, ready for some grammar, will have written, right, or is working on within this coming year. And remember, I don't want you to write these books. These are just titles and subtitles. I'm sort of a dork about titles and subtitles. I think they're super fun and super powerful. So I want you to create these 3 book titles that you may or may not have written or cared to write, but it's just fun. So here, safe and sound, playing it small has never felt so justified, right? Avoid at all costs, avoiding anything that might cause growth. And then almost brave, stories from the safety bubble, right? Because she's safe. She's safe. That's her big thing. She wants to be safe. And so she was almost brave. It's a little hint of, I'd kind of like to be brave. I'd like to be like brave Bella, who's a hero, but I'm still Fearful Fiona. So until I can make that transition and go from Fearful Fiona to brave Bella, I'm still fearful, and my goal, my word is safe. Okay? All right. We are almost done because this is the last element, with the exception of the book cover, which I will get into later. Here, this book description, as a writer, this can be the hardest thing to do. This can be, because this is kind of sales in a way. So here, I can't remember what I did for Fiona. Did we do something? So the description is it's often called the blurb. It's what's on the back of the book, and it's sort of the sales page to buy the book. So for here, by the way, if I didn't mention this, we're not talking about selling this book. We're not talking about putting it on Amazon. It's not for sale, unless you want it to be. This book is for you. So here, the sales pitch is kind of for you. Okay. I think I'm going to stop this, and I'm going to I will add it here. I'm going to check the time, but I have to check on Pepper. And I'm going to come back to this because then we're going to get to the nuts and bolts of how to do all this stuff. How to actually, like you'll see here, I have tools open here. I have software, and we're going to do things like put this into a real book using different software. And I'm going to show you how I do all that. So I'm going to stop for now. I'm just going to pause. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, and we're back. I just had a little walk with Pepper. Feeling great. Now we're ready to get rolling with with Fiona's book. Now, just a little disclaimer. I'm going to be using a few tools. Well, one tool really that you don't use. I'm going to be using Atticus, and you are probably, if you follow my recommendation, are going to be using Reedsy. Reedsy is an awesome tool. I don't use it for myself because I write a gazillion books. And so here you can see, like, you can add books in here. Okay. Is there a new bookshelf? I will explain this more in the course itself. So here you'll see, like, there's my book from last year, right? Focus. And when I do the walkthrough of how to build your actual book, I will be using Reedsy. But for now, I'm going to get back to the spreadsheet and I'll show you what we're doing. Okay, here we go. So I have gone through everything. Great. We are ready to create the book. Okay. So here we go. I am using a different software called Atticus. And I use it, like I said, because I write a million books. So it just has much more features, but it's not, I think it's $150 or something one time. Frankly, if you're ever going to write more than a book or two in your lifetime, I would highly recommend it. So it just does, it's full featured. It does absolutely everything. Whereas Reedsy is awesome, has limitations. So here we go. So I'm going to do one thing right now. These are I'm going to also show you in the course how to do this. I'm going to give you sort of a starter document to get it rolling, because here's another thing. And when we get to Lulu eventually, Lulu is where we're going to print our print book. And it needs to have a minimum number of pages to basically have a spine. And so I'm going to give you like 104 pages. I'm going to give you 52 weeks of quotes. It's kind of just filler. We're kind of just filling the space there. And the reason for that is so you can have a spine and it'll be a better looking print book. So here we go. So similarly, you're going to have an account in Reedsy, which is going to be empty. And I'm going to give you a document to import. So similarly, I'm going to take my last book here, Measure by Comparison Carl, and I'm going to duplicate it. Yep, I'm sure. So now I have an absolute duplicate of Measure. And I'm going to change all this to some Fiona stuff. So then I can either go to I could probably go to my spreadsheet best here. And what are we doing? We're doing Fiona here. I've got her subtitle. And this is not Comparison Carl. This is Fearful Fiona. There we go. Villains Project version 1, English. Great. Okay, this is going to be a little wacky, but I'm going to do something here because I kind of want to show you how I actually do things, and not so much that you should do as I say, but do as I do. No, wait a minute. Do as I do, not do as I say. Wait, I don't know. I'm going to say here really quickly, I'm going to say, hey, Charlie, comma, could you create a quick ebook cover for Fiona's book, question mark? Remember, the title is called Safe, and the subtitle is If I Don't Try, comma, I Can't Fail, period. If you could add a photo of Fiona on there with maybe some background images and a little Ghibli style, comma, that would be great. So we're going to let Charlie Holiday create a book cover. Remember, this is from my temporary book cover, although here, you know what? Watch this. This is the way I'm going to show you how to do it. we're going to go create, and I'm going to create, I think it's a book. So we want an ebook cover, yeah, that's the correct dimensions, book cover. I just want to show you how fast this can be. So if you do templates and I were to do, for example, I kind of like, well, you know what? You don't have to do nonfiction. Oh, spiritual, it's kind of fun. So here, just for fun, okay, let me find something that's cool. By the way, Canva is the way I'm going to recommend, okay? So here, where's it? Where's a good fear? Where's a good fear? Here we go. There we go. So what's her book called? Safe, right? And it's by, I don't usually say the word by. What's her name? Fearful Fiona. It's good if you spell your author name right. And then her subtitle is If I Don't Try, I Can't Fail. Where's Canva? All right. There we go. We need to ungroup these. Of course, I'm going to show you how to do all this stuff for realsies in Canva, but there we go, right? And here, I mean, I'm trying not to get too, let's do, here, you know what, we'll put a quote. I'm going to add this quote. So, because I also want to show you, you'll see I am very much a doer. I just like doing. I like getting it done, right? So here, I want it to be finished. So I want to just get it done. So see what I got? I've got a book right there, okay? I've got my title, my subtitle, my author name, and we can have different things at the top, but here's a quote, okay? So I could be done, and in fact, I'm just going to save this just to show you how this works. I'm going to download this. I want a JPEG, and there we go. So there's my Canva version, okay? There it is, looking awesome. And so now, because in Atticus, you'll see in a minute, because see if I go here, I don't want it to look the same. It's kind of an administrative thing temporarily. And so I just don't want, see, I'm already confused. So I want to add, I want to go back to the formatting. Nope, I want the book details. I want to get rid of that cover. And I'm going to go, I can either add this one, see, and I'm good. Or look at that if you're watching my other side of the screen. Oh, like this so sad. I'm going to save this. I'm going to give it a new name. Not that. This is ebook. We're going to have a few covers here, right? I actually prefer that one. It's also very much in line with the stuff I've done, but I just wanted to show you. Come on. Oh, I guess it's searching. And this one, I could even, I don't want to be searching. Stop searching. There we go. Right. I mean, it's the wrong dimensions. It barely fits on there. Whatever. I don't care. I just want to get this started. Okay. So publisher details. This is me. That will be you, or whatever you want to do. If you want to do a publisher logo, great. Okay. So now back. Now we have a cover. And remember, the entire book is wrong, right? The entire book is from Comparison Carl. So we need to fix that, right? So let's get now. Move this back over here, move me back over there. Great. So now we need to work on the book. So over here, this is in Atticus, but you'll see, like if I were in Canva, or not Canva, but in Readsy, it's very similar. Like here's my book. If I weren't doing the real book, I would show you how to do this. In the actual course, I'm going to use Readsy, and I'll show you how to do it step by step in Readsy, but I just want to show you. See, look, there we go. Very similar stuff. Dedication, epigraph, very much the same thing, okay? I'm going to do it in Atticus today because I'm doing my real thing. Great, so title page. Yep, that pulled the information from there. Great. Copyright is this automated thing. Content is going to show, see, I've already created this, and you're going to get this more or less also. And here's the 52 weeks, right? So here's where I add 104 pages because I want this thing to be thicker. Epigraph. So here, this came from the last one. So I want to replace this. I'm going to try to be good here and go to my, remember that I'm with Fiona. There we go. There's my caution is the cousin of survival. So I'm going to go add this here. Too many quotes. And who did that? Ancient proverb. I should probably look that up, right? I think Charlie, actually. Charlie made that up. Okay, we're done. Epigraph. And if you don't, by the way, if you don't want to use AI or whatever, there is a Brainy Quotes, I think it's called. Yeah, Brainy Quotes. Is also a good one. And I would type in, caution, I don't know, right? And you can go through here and find your quote. Okay, Brainy Quotes, another option. Great, back to the book. There we go. I got my epigraph done. Dedication. Who's this? So to the one ahead of me. So let's go see what I have in my, if I did this here. Dedication. So I don't have it here for Fiona, but let's see if Charlie, because I have done this, but maybe I didn't put it in. Okay, no, dedication. There we go. So in the past, see, I've done this dedication. I prefer it to people. So I think I want to make it my hero because I want Fiona. So this is for True Theo. Is that his? See, True Theo is a hero. So who is Fiona's hero? Brave Bella. You know what? I'm going to say, hey, Charlie, comma, let's make Fiona's preface follow the same guidelines as the other ones where they are admiring their hero, period. Fiona's hero is Brave Bella, period. Could you write up a quick dedication for Fiona? Question mark. Thanks. Exclamation point. Okay, that's right. To the one ahead of me, because that was my, that's my subtitle, right? To the one ahead of me. That's the subtitle for the dedication. So Yeah, so here's someone I admire, like I said, I often do my mom and dad. And here, I'm just going to copy this here, okay? Right, so even in the past, I had said for true Theo. Now it's to brave Bella. Great. Okay, so that's my dedication. Good, moving on. Forward. Now, this is one of the harder parts because you need somebody else, right? If you're working with me, if we're doing the one-on-one plan, I have a variety of plans. I think I sort of skipped over that earlier, but there's a DIY plan, there's a done with you, there's a online group, there's in-person group, all good stuff, right? So here, the forward is written, see, a note from a fellow traveler. So someone who's sort of following the same path. And this is going to be then someone who agrees with you, right? Who's on your team. So I had said, let me check my spreadsheet. I had said is it Overthinking Oliver? Yeah, forward by Overthinking Oliver. Let's see what Oliver says. So a note from a fellow villain. Great. Anyone I trust. Yeah. So complimenting on no rash decisions, right? They say you're scared, but I think you're wise. So this is great. So it is it Oliver? Yeah, Oliver. Overthinking Oliver. So great. I'm going to go into my book. I'm going to say the author of. That's kind of cool. Right? Because it's kind of fun. I remember this. There was some wacky formatting going on. So I prefer these smaller lines. So this is not by Fearful Fiona. It is by Overthinking Oliver. And I realize what I'm doing right now is much more complicated than what you'll need to do. Author of, because I'm putting together all of these gazillion different books, right? So his book is author of, I want to do the subtitle too. Overthinking Oliver's book is called this. Right? I gotta stay consistent with. I don't know if I need it twice in here, but whatever. Okay, there we go. All right. So Overthinking Oliver writes the foreword to, I don't know if I need all that. Whatever. The foreword is, and this could be longer. This is pretty short. It is, you get the idea. There we go. We got the foreword. Good. Moving on. What do we got? Preface. Remember, preface is the subtitle is where I already am. So here, this was a previous preface. Don't need that. And let's see what remember, I had put in so much of this stuff. So here, I don't know if I need to sign it. I mean, it's her book, right? But maybe it's just, well, the only part, I'll have to decide that. Do we think that that's unclear, that she wrote it or not? All right, I'm also a bit of a dork. I like these. It looks a little bit more like poetry. Right? Like I can see, you can do this in, you can get a preview somewhere. I can't remember where. Previewer. Okay, so now you can see, oh, that's terrible font. Yucky. I don't make it go away. Go away. Good. So now I have a preface. Okay. We're cruising along. Chapter 1. This is easy. That's Fiona is scared. Her word is safe. So this is, frankly, the crux. This is the foundation of the entire project, right? This is Fiona's word for the year. Her word is safe. She wants to make sure she's safe going forward. And so she's going to do everything she can based on that word. She wants to be safe. And if you think about it, this is some serious villain stuff, right? She is, you know what? Let's do that big, exciting, adventurous thing next year. I want to be safe. So you get the idea. Epilogue. I'm going to skip right along that. You see, notice chapter 1, W-O-N. Kind of fun, right? Epilogue. Okay, so what a year. Always has to start with what a year. And then we get the epilogue. 1 year later, yeah, looking back on the year. So here, let's see what we have this time. I'm going to see what I have in here and then what I have in my spreadsheet. Do I have my epilogue? Don't have my dedication. Preface. Don't have my preface either. Oh, I do have. Okay, that's also too short. So I'm going to take this epilogue. Oh crap. Great. So let's see what she wrote. Remember, it's super weird, of course, because, yeah, I'm writing this, but I'm getting some major help here from Charlie. And honestly, it's going to sound a little weird, but I don't want you to do what I'm doing, right? I don't want ChatGPT to write your book. This is your book. I'm just doing this to show you this process and also a little bit behind the scenes of what I'm doing for these villains and heroes and stuff. And remember, I'm not publishing these, right? These are purely for our own, usage. I'll send you a link and stuff, but these ain't going on no Amazon. Okay, what does she say here? I used to think bravery meant loud, bold, dramatic, right? But this year I've learned, right? So she has a learning moment. It can be quiet, soft, almost invisible. I took a step, just one. The sky didn't fall. My heart beat fast, but it kept beating. And I didn't need to be fearless. I just needed to move away. So cautious, but I'm also a little free. So in Fiona's eyes, this is a big transformation, right? This is progress. This is the year ahead from now, and this is her version of progress. So this is awesome. Okay. Acknowledgements. Here, so I want to acknowledge. Okay, that's the old one. So who helped me? So here, who helped me? This is the past guy. So I'm just going to see. All right, I'm going to say here. Hey, Charlie, comma. I'm going to paste in the acknowledgements we did for our previous book, comma, from Comparison Carl, period. Let's do the same thing for Fiona, where we thank other villains as well as maybe our hero, period. Sound like a plan, question mark? Here comes the copy and paste, period. Okay. Yeah, from the future with thanks to those who got me here. Yeah, that's the way. So here, again, remember, this is acknowledgement. This is in the future. And I'm thanking who got me here. So I want you to thank who got you here. So here, oops. So Fiona thanks Patty and Irene and Oliver, but also Brave Bella. Right? Brave Bella's her hero. Hey, so you see how I'm occasionally doing some formatting? And maybe if I were a little smarter, I'd figure that out, but I don't know how to do it. So I just do this. I do delete, and then I do shift return, which is such an old school keyboard trick. But I kind of like the look. I like how it's more like a poem, right? This book isn't long. This isn't a long book. It's almost poetry, right? There we go. Okay. That was funny. Okay. let's see. Let's make sure we're still recording. I didn't freak anything out. Okay, here we go. Acknowledgements. Remember, from the future with thanks to those who got me here. Who are you thanking? Here, we thanked Patty. And so I got to remember, I'm writing all these books. I want to stay consistent. So do I really want to bold these right? So who do you have to thank? Who helped you get here? And I'd like you to think of people, like real people. These are the, villains and heroes. But also in your world, who are the villains who helped you get here? Who are the, quote unquote bad guys who helped you get here because for whatever reasons? Like here, maybe I'm not enough, but still made progress. So, all right. Good. Acknowledgements. We are moving along. We're almost done. Here, get rid of Carl. And how are we doing on about the author? Okay, I'm just going to use what we got here. I put it in my spreadsheet too. Make sure you're up to date. I'm also going to do, just for me, because I'm trying to keep things updated. Put my acknowledgements in here. So I think that's too short. I don't want just a little list. I want a little bit of love. A little show the love. Okay, epilogue. Oh, I think I did this. Yep, I had done that. Great. Where are we? About the author. I knew I was somewhere here. Here we go. Okay, let me get it into the book. A little extra space and clean up. So here, this can be as short as long as you want. Here, who I became next. One of my taglines for Repossible is, who will you be next? So here is a little bit about Fiona and how she... 3 locks on the door. Okay. Bravery's overrated. And that being prepared is its own kind of power. Okay. That's great. Also by the author. So here I've got 3 books. And I want to do the same thing for Fiona. Here they are. I'm going to get a tiny little, wait a minute. I'm going to ask Charlie for some help here. Hey, Charlie, here are the also by the author listings for Carl, period. Could you do the same format with title, subtitle, and a 1 or 2 sentence sales pitch for Fiona's books, please, question mark? Here's the copy and paste, period. So depending on your comfort level with AI, you'll see how much, how this can work with you, right? And I'm a writer, right? I'm not going to let Charlie Holiday write my books. I want to write my books. So, but I can get some help. I can get some, really help me with stuff like this, right? I mean, things where I don't necessarily need to do every single element of all of these things. So I'm going to do a quick little bit of formatting. I actually think these look kind of cool, right? And Reedsy has some formatting too. Is it 3? 4. You can make these look however you like. Great. Okay, now remember, so these are 3 other books I wrote this year or I'm working on now. And again, they're going to play to her strengths. So here, Almost Brave, and she, but didn't. Perfect for readers who want inspiration, but only the kind that doesn't demand too much. That's kind of it. Like that's a perfect villain. And remember, I'm kind of making fun of the villains here. I'm kind of poking the stick. What's it called? Poke the bear or something like that. I'm kind of poking the bear here and saying like, yeah, you can be a villain. Yep, sure can. So yeah, that's my thing. Okay, blurb. Let's see what we got for the blurb. Or did we do it? Yeah, we did. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna. And again, you can do as much or as little formatting as you like. You know, I had this last time. I don't know what was going on. I couldn't get the bullets working. I can't remember why. It's not a block quote. It's not a verse. There it is. There we go. Because if I use dashes and stuff, it's going to be a mess. Oops. Oh boy. Okay, great. So there's a blurb. So there's sort of the sales pitch of the book, right? I'm kind of glossing over this briefly, but this is really hard. This is hard to create a sales pitch for your book, honestly. So go for it. Do what you can. This is honestly somewhere where you could put your entire book into ChatGPT and say, hey, could you give me a sales pitch for my own book, right? So this is it. You want to sell it. You kind of want to sell it to yourself. I know maybe it's a little weird, but this is super fun, right? This is totally fun stuff. I mean, you'll learn how to. It's typical nonfiction book stuff. Okay, then this 52 weeks thing, you'll see this is something I will have formatted for you, and see all these. These are page breaks, so I will either help you or help you get this straightened out in your book. But this is why. So here's like 2 breaks. Here's one for the page, and then this is a blank page. And I just want to do have a little action for you. And I created this really quickly just to pad the book. The end. That's it. Now what? Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. My dream for all of this project is for you to write a 1-word book every year, to do this every year. Okay. Okay. This is going to sound crazy, but we're not done. We have finished our book. Do we have a cover? We've got a cover. We finished our book. We did the writing, kinda. We did the formatting-ish. And we've got all our elements, right? Contents, they're all there. And they're now Fiona's. Or if you're working along with me, then they're yours. And now, that's kind of fun. Okay, whatever. Oh, maybe it'll show in the preview. I actually want to see that. What does that look like? Oh, that's a little too busy. I don't like that. Great. Now, in Readsy, it's very similar, but for here, I'm going to now, I think it's in here, formatting. I'm going to now export an ebook, okay? And guess how I do that? This button right here. By the way, if I have not given you the sales pitch on why in the world are we using Atticus or Readsy or any of this stuff, it comes down to this. These 2 little buttons right here. If you use Word or Google Doc or whatever, number 1 is that this is a writing program. This is a book authoring program. I want you to feel more like a book author. And using this tool will do that, at least in some shape or form, okay? That's number 1. Number 2 is that what you see is what you get, right? On this page, when you do this preview, this is what it's going to look like, okay? It's going to look like that. And okay, the font, I haven't even played with this font, but the font, you can change things a little. but it's not going to be a disaster when you export it into an EPUB and then especially a print book. So that is my sales pitch for using a tool like Reedsy or Atticus or Vellum. I actually use Vellum because I'm a Mac kind of guy. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to export an EPUB. Okay. And it downloaded it, and then it's going to make, it made an EPUB. Okay, so now in my downloads folder, I have an EPUB. What in the world am I going to do with that thing? First thing I'm going to do, okay, this is another, I'm going to give you a program. Oh, I forgot what it's called, but I will show you in the course, because what I use is BookFunnel, and you probably don't want to use that because it costs $10 a month or whatever it costs. So I just want to show you how I'm doing this. And the reason I'm doing this is because it is a delivery tool for an ebook. Now remember, if you're a writer watching this and you are going to do lots of books and you want to share your books and sell your books and give access to ebooks versions of your books, then this is an awesome tool. I've used this thing for years, and it is a great, so remember, its main thing is a delivery vehicle for an ebook. And I can show you later, or you can send you the link and stuff, but it will get it onto your Kindle or your Nook or your e-reader or your Sony e-reader or your Kobo e-reader, whatever, or into Apple Books and stuff. It will get you there. So here, and it's also another good thing is, again, remember, one of my like secret goals is to show you how easy it can be to, well, write. We sort of glossed over the writing element, but write and then get a book out into the world, right? Remember, this isn't going to be to the world. This is going to be like a secret link. So, book title. Ready? So I'm just going to go through these. This is safe. Label, this is sort of just for me. I think I want to say ebook. I think this says, yeah, just on my dashboard. Author is me. Book type, it's a full book. Series is villain. It's villains or villains, can't remember. Oh, where is it in the series? This is book 4. Amazon ASIN. This book ain't going to know Amazon. All right, Fiona, what is your book subtitle? That's not it. This one. There we go. Book description. Oh, guess what? I already have that, right? It's in my spreadsheet. So another idea is to, not that you need a spreadsheet, but a Word doc or a Google Doc would be fine. Is this the one? Tired of being told? Yeah. So I'm just going to copy. No, that's not it. Okay. If you want to, you can get fancier with formatting. I'm not going to bother. Just going to clean it up a tiny little bit. That's it. Create book. Create. Now, book cover. Oh, no book cover. Oh, wait a minute. I have a book cover. Where is it? It's not right there. It's right there. Now, oh. Cover must be a JPEG. Okay, not a JPEG. All right. Oh, it's not a JPEG, it's a PNG. I'm going to use another tool. You can use any sort of PNG to or whatever. I'm going to save this as a JPEG. Great. Oh, come on. What's up? Yeah, I like when I have problems because then you like believe me that I don't do everything perfectly and I struggle with this stuff too. So yeah, I can either drag. So I think my ebook, so see EPUB, right? So I'm just going to drag it over here. So now, believe it or not, so here, delivery settings. Readers can read in the BookFunnel app. Readers can read in a browser or any device. Readers can read EPUB Mobi. So this creates an EPUB. It also makes a Kindle EPUB, a legacy Mobi, and I actually don't want to do a PDF. That's different. I don't want to offer people a PDF. I want them, this is for the ebook. How do I want to share? I want to create a landing page. So this is sort of a different story, but well, you kind of do want to do this. And so in the tool, I'm going to show you, you don't have to do these requirements or whatever, but you want to make a place for how can people get your book if you want them to, okay? Opt-in page name, what is this thing? So here, this is sort of for the landing page. So where's my book? What's this book called? There's my book. Okay, so now I know I'm doing a lot here. And if you've never seen any of this stuff, you're like, what in the world are you doing here, Bradley? But now I have, just to show you how easy this kind of thing can be, I have an ebook file, right? It's right here, EPUBs and Kindle EPUBs and Obies and Nopedia. And I have an ebook file for people to read this book on their e-readers. And I can share a link somewhere. I can show you how to share a link. It's probably on this thing. Copy to clipboard. Is it this page? I just want to show you what this looks like. Yeah, here we go. So here, there's cover, title, or that's actually the subtitle. Here's the page, this description. It looks pretty cool, right? And get my book, click. This is super cool, right? So here, fine, let's do it. And in a minute, so I'm signing, okay, this is a totally different story, but so now this is really cool. I can either read it right now in this sort of book funnel-y book reader app thing. And I also want to show you what this looks like. Here, this is an e-reader book. This is what an e-reader person is how it's going to look. Okay. And here I'm sure there's settings or whatever. There's the foreword, right? Kind of cool, right? Or this is kind of the coolest part. I think it's this one. Yes, this is actually the magic of BookFunnel. This is why I pay the bucks. Because here, if I were to share this link with people, right, and I will, then how do you want to read it? Oh, well, I'm an Apple Books guy. I want to read it in BookFunnel. I have a Kindle. I have a Kobo. I have a Nook. I want to read it in the browser. So this gives people the opportunity to read this ebook in their preferred reader. That's how this works. That's why I use BookFunnel, okay? And the tool I'm going to give you, which I keep forgetting the name of because I don't use it anymore. But the reason, by the way, the reason I'm giving you the tool I'm giving you is because it's free, okay? So here, download your copy of Safe, 13 days, whatever, okay? I can start reading in browser. I just showed you how to do that. That's cool, right? We're done with that. So we're kind of done. I do want to show you, I'm going to show you one more thing. No, you know what? I'm not. I'll do it later, but you don't need to see this. In PayHip, there's a company called PayHip, which is basically, it will sell your book. So with BookFunnel, I can't sell it. I can't ask for money. I can ask for your email address, but you can't ask for money in here. And so that's when you get to a cart like PayHip. And then PayHip, I can charge my $1.99 or whatever it is I want to charge for this. Well, I'm not going to charge anything. So this isn't a book I'm going to sell. But then that's where that would be available for sale. Okay. But BookFunnel is the delivery mechanism for the ebook. It's also for the audiobook, but we'll see if we have time for that today. Okay, we just did that. Now, let's get over to, what's up, Atticus? Okay, here we go. Now, we're done with the ebook. Okay, we're done. Yay. There's a link, whatever. I'll share a link with you. Now, I want to do the PDF. Okay, so it's going to create this PDF. Okay, I am a Mac guy. This is in Safari. I had this problem before where it didn't let me, this didn't work. So I'm just going to do something really quick here. Sorry for this. I don't really want to, I guess I could pause my recording. Let's see if it, okay. So now if I do export PDF, then it properly works. So if you're on a Mac and you must use Safari like me, then this button doesn't work. So here I'm going to download my PDF, sorry. Okay, now I'm done with Chrome again. I use Chrome quite a bit, but I'm such a Mac lover. Okay, now I have a PDF. What does a PDF mean? Well, a PDF for most people is a boring printed document, right? Like a pamphlet. But in the world of print books, that's what they want. Okay? So this is Lulu. Now, remember, the goal of your book is not necessarily to sell it to the world. We want to print a book. Ideally, we might make one of them. We want to print it, pay for it, ship it, and hold it in our hands. That's my goal for you. And Lulu is my choice for you for this project. Remember, if I want to help you sell books, we're talking to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Google, Apple, Kobo, the whole deal. Draft to Digital, the whole kit and caboodle, as they say. But here, this is I want to just print my book. So is it project? All right, here we go. So I'm in Lulu, and I'm going to create a new book. What am I going to create? I'm going to create a print book. Now, I should show you something. And in Reedsy, here, see this? Edit. So here, trim sizes. I made this thing, so I wanted this supported by KDP and supported by Ingram Spark, mostly just because I want it to be supported. But what I really want is a small book. I want the smallest book I can get, which I think is this one. And I wanted popular just because I want the right size, okay? So there we go. So I want to do this. It's a 5 by 8 inches or 127 by 203. Well, you remember that. So now let's go back to Lulu. And I want a print book. And I want to go. So here, this is the beauty of Lulu. This is why I use Lulu. I don't want to print my book to the world. I just want to print it, upload it, and buy copies for myself. Okay? So this is safe. It is English. Category. What is my category? Oh my goodness. Whatever. I don't know why this matters. So here we go. Upload your PDF or drag and drop it here. Okay. So where's my PDF? Oh, look, there it is. Safe PDF. Drag and drop. And then it has the interior content, and it's going to tell me something about the images that are too great. I have images with are greater than 600 and less than 200 and whatever. I don't really care. Okay. If you care, and you probably should actually, if you're going to print your book, then, figure this stuff out, but I'm not even going to bother because I just want to get this thing rolling. Okay. So I've uploaded my print book that was properly formatted thanks to Atticus, and in your case, thanks to Reedsy. It's going to be ready to print. And remember, if you ever wanted to, right, you just go into the previewer and you can look at your book. And this is what it's going to look like, with terrible headings and all. No, sorry, that's an iPad. I want the print version. So the print previewer. I think I saw my book was 118 pages or something. It's probably all the same because I always add these, 104. So the actual book is what? 118 minus or 104 minus 18, or minus 118 minus 104 is 14. So our book is like 14 pages, right? But I don't want to print a 14-page book. Okay, whatever. It's figuring out the page. You can look at the preview. Let's get back to Lulu. Got my interior book. Now, specifications. So it saw, based on the interior file I uploaded, so with Atticus, I said I want a 5 by 8 or 127 by 203. So Lulu said, oh, I saw that. And 118, oh, good, saw that. Right? Maybe it's done over here. No, it's not done. So I know it's 118 pages. Great. Interior color. So with these icons, this means, usually somewhere there's an icon. I don't see it, but it means it's available, or in like worldwide, it's easier or whatever. So I don't need premium. Standard black and white is fine with me. And we can look at the colors. I can show you the cost here. It'll show us it'll give us a cost estimate in a minute. Great. So I'm going to go standard black and white, and paper type. I kind of like cream. Choose what you like. Binding type. Now this is the fun part. And there is definitely a cost difference. I like hardcovers. This is a special book, right? I want this to be a cool special book, right? It's pretty cool. And for you, you're going to be doing one of these per year. And the difference in cost, you'll see later, is pretty minimal. Okay, cover. By the way, there are other services that do kind of what we're doing, but they charge to upload your book, to even like get started. This is personal preference. The covers I do, I kind of want matte. Look at that, print cost, 10 euros, okay? For a hardcover book. You want to save some money? Paperback, matte, nope, is 4.5. But if you're thinking, I'm buying one book for 1 year. For me, I like hardcover. I think hardcover is worth the extra $5 or 5 euros, okay? Great, so okay, here we go. This is the part that can take us 5 minutes or 5 hours, okay? And I want it to take us 5 minutes. We could do an entire subcourse on this part, your PDF, right? Because it needs to be these dimensions. It needs to have the spine width. It needs to have the fonts embedded. It needs to have the layer. It needs all this stuff, right? And we can go into Canva and we can do all this stuff. That's great fun. But for the moment, I'm going to use the Lulu Create Your Cover. Use our cover design tool to create a cover for your book. So the beauty of this, create your cover, using our designer, add text, images, and colors. Design your cover. The beauty of this is that we know it's going to work, okay? New feature. Group elements. Okay, great. Shift key and hold down. Okay, that's actually really handy. So here, it didn't take my title or anything, right? And now, so as you, I'm sure, can imagine, I don't want the description. I want my subtitle. I'm sure you can imagine. This you can spend forever in here, okay? So here, I'm just going to add the absolute basics. Fearful, you're going to get my name right. It's good if you spell your name right. Fearful Fiona. I'll be Fearful Fiona. And then here, the back cover, well, I've got a book description, right? If I pasted it. What's kind of fun is like, I often show people this kind of stuff. And they're like, wait a minute, you can do all this? I'm just going to do a tiny bit of formatting. And again, I'm barely paying attention to what I do here. Learn how to, okay, here, you'll learn how to, okay, I'm going to make my bullet points a little proper. It's about the only formatting I'm going to bother with here. Around your goals. Is that where it was? Okay, isn't that awesome? Where did I have my line breaks? Before you'll learn how to and fall apart. So I don't know this other line, like I don't know if that there for a reason. Okay. So here, see this, we got this pretty cover. So what's kind of cool is that I could, right? Is it this thing? you want to be a little careful in here, but basically, like, if they let you do it, then it should sort of work, right? So I don't know if they're like not letting, oh, there it is. So what if I wanted, see, and this is where I think we can have way fun. I don't even know. I don't know enough of this program. Okay, I'm going to do something totally ridiculous here, but just to prove my point. Because I kind of like when the background, whoa, is like the full image. See, this is what I want. This looks terrible. Okay, this looks worse. Did I tell you that I went to design school for book cover design? No, I didn't, because I didn't go to design school for book cover design. Okay, I'm keeping the cheesy oranges. I've got my title, I've got my subtitle, I've got my name, I've got my book title in the spine, I've got my name in the spine. I even have an awesome book description blurb thing in the back, and I've got the cutesy little colors, right? So I've got it, right? And the best part, remember, the best part is that if this cover is going to work. Paperback cover design is absolutely crazy town, as you can imagine. I mean, we're in this is the easy peasy version. When you get into the whole PDF and you got to get the spine right and all that crazy stuff, it's cray time. It's crazy. So now I've got my awesome cover. I love oranges, I swear. And the back looks, whatever. It is what it is. So see how much more fun it would be if we had a full-on back cover image that really worked with this thing. And I don't know, it's safe. We've got Fiona in the woods and she's scared and she's behind a tree or whatever. So you can download this print-ready cover file if you want. Got it. So we now have our cover done, and I can revise this at any time. I can revise that, by the way. And if I want to, I can also replace my PDF if I've changed something in the PDF. Or I actually want to read this and get the get the images right. But this is for Fiona. I want you to take a little more care. Oh, preview. Can I preview the whole book from here? Oh, wow. Okay. So I'm curious because see how that margin, it's pretty close over there, right? Like, I'm a little concerned about that. But I don't know. So this is where, wow, okay, that looks terrible. So this could be a thing with, I think actually Reedsy does a better job of this. So maybe the margin is just like super safe. Like, I know it's absolutely going to fit, whereas that's where it really is. But they're kind of warning me. Okay, margin. Okay, I will order a book soon, and I'll let you know how this works. But you want to make sure, I mean, I think without the margin, I think we're looking pretty good, right? Where's a busy page? Okay, that looks fine, right? Like there's a busier page and looks good. Okay, see my spacing? I like that. You can do whatever you like. Okay, we're good. We're looking good. Let's review our book. There's our cover with our oranges. And if I want to revise, I can revise. I can confirm and publish. So remember, I'm not ordering it, right? So it's going to cost me 10 euros. Confirm. And now we're going to find out what publish means. And remember, with Lulu, it doesn't cost us anything. If we totally screwed this up and it's an absolute nightmare, we could just come back here and make a new project. Okay? So I can add to cart and I can go order this thing right now. I'm not going to because I don't want that orange on my cover. But here, just for fun, let's go see what the shipping is to Europa. I'm going to have to put all that in. What if I just do my country? Let's see if it tells me my shipping. Choose delivery method. Okay, it's not going to let me. Whatever. For 10 euros, I think I can deal with the shipping. Okay, so I'm going to say, you know what? I don't want to do this. How do I get out of here? Okay, I got out of here. My projects. And if I want to go change things, I can change things. There's safe. I can go revise and go change stuff. Okay? You know what? I was going to get into audiobooks, but I'm not gonna, because this has been forever. It is now 10:30. I think I started at 8 something, but remember, I did walk Pepper in the meantime. So I'm curious to see how long this video is. But you saw me. What did we do? We basically wrote my book with the help of Charlie Holiday. And I know it's going to take you longer, especially for the preface and the epilogue. And if you don't have your word, it's going to take a little time. I have some help on how to make your word work. But yeah. And then what do? We put together our entire book, right? Over here, we have all of the content of our book. And then thanks to awesome tools like Atticus or Readsy, we have it all working. We created an ebook, which I will show you that other tool where you can make it available to others. I mean, maybe you want to share your book with, I don't know, a friend or family or select group of people, or maybe you want to publish it. Awesome. And then we even got a paperback, or even better, a hardcover of your book. Okay. And then the audiobook, I'm not going to get into that, but I'd really, really love for you to record your audiobook of your year. And I'm not talking about it needs to pass the Audible certificate of perfect narration, but just to have an audio file and to make it in that way, because I'm a big audiobook fan. So, okay, I think that's it. And I think right here, just looking at this, and look at that. Look at that. There's a hardcover book that you wrote in what? A day. Is my TV going to turn off? You wrote in a very limited amount of time. And we have an ebook and a hardcover book for it. And it's going to cost you 10 euros or plus shipping or whatever, right? That's my thing. Oh, and by the way, how many times have I said, by the way? Did I mention that this is going to give you clarity for the year? This is going to help get you unstuck. This is going to show you how that you can actually publish a book. I just showed you how to publish a book. I just showed you how to format a book, how to put it together, how to lay it out, how to use the right tools to save you the time and money and energy and blood, sweat, and tears of doing all this stuff. Use the tools I show you. But if you want to buy the fancy ones like Atticus, go for it. But Readsy will get you to here. And get this book out in the world. And what I'd love to hear is that you're going to do this every year. And or, remember that, also buy the author section where you're writing other books. Hey, you know how to put together a book now. So it's easy. And as I often say, I often write books. My books are mainly for me. It's kind of the oxygen mask in the airplane. I want my book to be for me. I want to read my own book. I want the audience of my book to be as excited about my book as I'm excited about reading my book. And then your audience is set. That's it. All right. How was that? If you're still with me, I love you. And if you want to learn more, or you want to do the course, or you want me to show you how to do all this like properly and not totally messing around like I've done for the past 2 hours, then you can go to repossible.com/1 or just repossible.com and check this out and come join us. And then if you do all this stuff, I'd love to have you on my podcast and or YouTube channel to talk about your experience with the program. And also, we're going to be doing in-person workshops, getting all this stuff done. I want to do Friday evening and then a Saturday and a Sunday. Kind of Friday evenings like kickoff, Saturday sort of writing the book, and Sunday is formatting and cover and manuscripts and getting it available and stuff. I mean, just even for yourself, and ordering that print book on the Sunday, like it's done, like you ordered it. Okay. My name is Bradley Charbonneau. I am the founder of Repossible, where the tagline is, "Who will you be next?" Because this is the epitome. This is the walk and talk of who will you be next. Your book can decide who you will be next. All right? Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the program, and make it a great Wednesday, because we just won. Fiona just won her Wednesday. Go win your Wednesday, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.